Recording. Thank you. Erev Tov, everyone. Parsha begins. So the word Akev, in its generic source, means because, or do. You will listen, so then the brachas will come to you. And we have the word that appears before by Avraham Avinu. It says, Ekev asher shoma Avraham bekoli, Ishmar mishmarti, chukosai v'torosai. So there, again, the word Ekev has that same general meaning, that since Avraham, because Avraham observed, so therefore all the blessings of the generations will be bestowed upon him. Rashi here quotes a medrash to begin. Rashi says the word Akev refers also to the Hebrew noun akov, which means the heel of a foot. So therefore, the word Akev is mitzvos she'adam dosh ba'akevo, mitzvahs that a person tramples upon, that he steps upon with his heel. And the general meaning of that also is that he deems them to be unimportant. Whether he fulfills the mitzvah or he ignores the mitzvah, he doesn't deem that to be a matter of importance. It's dosh ba'akevo. Like if you walk on the street and you step on something, that wasn't your intent. However, the Meforshim look at this and attempt to give us a deeper insight into this idea. What does Rashi here say? Mitzvah shodem dosh ba'akev. When the word appeared by Avraham Avinu, we didn't say that. And there, it's the same word, same meaning. So the Torah wants to point out to us, and that's the whole point of the parsha. And we have in this week's parsha the paragraph of Ohayoim Shomoat Ishmael that we say in Kriyat Shema. There are consequences to our behavior. That's what the Torah is emphasizing. Because if there would not be consequences, then human behavior is meaningless. Doesn't make a difference what I do. And to a certain extent, that's become a prevalent philosophy in the Western world today, that none of this is important, and that all values are relative, and there are no absolutes, and therefore there's no way to discern between evil and good, between right and wrong. Doesn't make a difference. In Yiddish, there was a phrase to describe a world that had no values. So they used to call it a Hefkerwelt. It's a world that everything is Hefker. Everything is it's up for grabs. You can do whatever you want with it. As the Torah, from the time of Avram Avinu onwards, always emphasized that there are consequences. Even to the smallest of things, there are consequences. And therefore, a great deal of thought and care should be given to our behavior, to what we do, what we say, because there are consequences. The Gemara says, famous Gemara at the end of Sukkah, is that there was a family of Kohanim, Bilga. The Kohanim were divided into 24 sections, and each section worked 2 weeks, and so there were 4 that worked 3 weeks. And on Yom Tov they worked, etc. So each of the section of the Kohanim had their own, what shall we say, their own dressing room in the Beis Hamikdash, where they stored their clothing, their belongings. Bilga, something happened in that family. What happened in that family was that one of the women married one of the Greek captains who was an oppressor of the Jews. Not only that, but she came to the Beit HaMikdash after the Greeks took it, and she took off her shoe and she pounded on the altar, on the Mizbeach, and she said in Greek, Lucas, Lucas, meaning you're a wolf. You devour what the people bring and you don't give them anything. So she mocked the Mizbeach. So the Gemara asks, so there was one woman from that tribe. Why should everybody suffer? Why should all the section of Bilga suffer? So the Gemara says a great insight into life. What a child says is what his mother or father taught him, even inadvertently. The conversation he heard at home. So in the family of Bilga, they must have heard a conversation. The Beit HaMikdash is not important. It's not the Kohanim are corrupt, whatever. Maybe they read the editorial page of Haaretz, who knows? Something. So is that it? You would have said, I thought they worshipped Avodah Zorah, or they weren't Sabbath observers. So no, yeah. The off-the-cuff conversation is enough to bring this about. Mm-hmm. So that's part of the idea of Akib. That's Olam Dosh Be'akevo. What we think is unimportant. What we think is what we have a right to say. And we don't realize the consequences. How it affects others, how it affects our family, how it affects society generally. We are not aware of it. So that is on the negative side. On the positive side, Allah has kama v'kama. The positive is greater than the negative. So if you hear good things, so for instance, Rabbi Gamliel said, Kol yomai gudalti bin hachachomim, I was raised with wise people. What did I learn from the wise people? To be quiet. So I want to ask you, how do you learn that? If he was raised amongst the wise people, let him tell us what the wise people taught him. The greatest effect upon him was that they were quiet. I saw that the greatest attribute is silence. So that's the idea of mitzvahs shorim dosh v'akevo. Things that we think are not important are the things that oftentimes have the greatest influence and really define us and determine us. And therefore, listen to what you say. Then you'll be able to judge whether you're on the right path or not. Rabbi Chananya ben Akash Omer, what's HaKadosh Baruch Hu was Israel? Fichol chir b'lahem Torah mitzvos, shenemar Adonai chavei saman tzidko, yagdil Torah v'yadir yishtarei v'yishtarei yishmei rabon. Yomod v'rosin v'sei v'yamlikval v'sei v'chai v'chonet v'yamei chonet v'chai v'chol beis Yisrael. Akalov yizan karim v'amei yishmei rabon. Amen.